course, we're past the All-Star break in the NBA season, and the Golden State Warriors remain in a dead heat race to the top of the Western Conference with the Houston Rockets. Our Jared Zwerling had a chance to sit down with Draymond Green, the heart and soul of the Warriors, to discuss their title chase for the third time in 4 years. We asked Draymond about his role as the glue guy on the loaded roster.
Most importantly is just understanding that you will never get the credit and being okay with that. You know, when you see a great band broken up, it's because one guy or one lady wanted more attention. You see great teams break up, it's because that guy wasn't really cool with being the second option anymore. He wanted to be the first option somewhere. You know, we see it all the time. And so most importantly is just understanding that you may not get the credit, and that's okay. Because I know what I do for this team and I bring for this team and the things that I allow this team to do, you know, and so, you know, that's number one. Number two, it's knowing you always have to bring it. You know, there aren't times that, you know, games where I just get to go out there and say, I ain't got it today. No, you got to find it, and that's the challenge. You know, it may be a game where the team is 20-44. How do you find that energy? So you're just not allowed to have bad days, and I think that may be the toughest part of it. It's not wanting attention, it's not wanting to score more points, it's having to bring it every single day and knowing that, you know, everyone's going to follow your energy. So whether it's good or bad, they're following your energy. Which way do you want to take the team?
Of course, in playing with all of that talent and chasing a second consecutive title, complacency can sometimes be the Warriors' biggest opponent. Draymond talked about that as well.
There's no season I've played in that felt the same. Every season kind of takes on its own life, and this season has been much of the same of that. It's kind of taken its own turn. You know, for us, you know, coming into this season, it's kind of like, hey man, we need to do everything we can to stay healthy. We need to do everything we can to stay fresh and get ready for the playoffs. You realize the things that's going on in that season, so maybe you're not clicking as much as you once were. How do you get back to that point? You know, how do you stay hungry? You know, I think in life, complacency is something that happens with everyone, no matter what field of work you're in, whether it's basketball, whether it's a journalist, whether it's, you know, a CEO of a company. Complacency is always going to start to take place. How do you overcome that? And for us, we definitely have had some complacency throughout this season. And that's the joy of it, of overcoming that complacency, getting back to the drawing board, getting back to the basics, and always remembering how hard it is to win in this league. And I think that's kind of been the theme of this season, and I like it. I love where we are.
But perhaps the most intriguing story that has carried through the Warriors' dominant season has been the ability of James Harden, Chris Paul, and the Houston Rockets to keep pace thus far. Draymond had some choice words for his team's newest rival.
I wouldn't necessarily say a slap in the face because we weren't kind of going through like, hey man, we need to go into the All-Star break #1. Like, it's just not something that you talk about. But it was, I mean, it's different, you know, not being in the first spot now and saying that. You know, no one's up in flames about it. No one's, hey man, we got to get back to the #1 seed. Like, whatever seed we end up, we'll figure it out. You still got to go win games on the road if you're going to win the series more often than not. It's never a guarantee that we're going to play the Rockets. You know, we have such a long ways to go, and, you know, if we are to meet up with the Rockets, it'll be in the conference finals. And there's so many good teams that we'll have to take down to even get to that point, and the Rockets as well. So you just got to focus one day at a time, one game at a time. Once you get to the playoffs, one series at a time, and maybe we end up playing the Rockets. And, you know, I like our chances no matter who we play. But we do know that they're a threat. They've added some great pieces, and as it's been, you know, highly publicized, that team is built to beat us. Noted. Great. We'll see y'all soon.
Draymond also dished on growing up as a kid in Michigan without access to fitness and health resources. He's now partnering with Blink Fitness to give back.
Being from Saginaw, Michigan, you know, and Blink being a very affordable gym, it registered with me because I remember growing up in Saginaw, I didn't know what a fitness gym was. Like my school, our weight room, we had a few dumbbells and 345-pound plates and a bench press bar and like the oldest squat rack you could ever imagine in your life. And I had no idea even what a piece of cardio equipment was until I got to college. And so to think back to that, and I remember when I sprained my ankle really bad going into my senior year, I gained so much weight because I didn't have an idea of riding a bike and, you know, in my time off or none of those things. And so to be able to give back to my community as well, while, you know, announcing a partnership with Blink and taking that to, you know, Detroit and eventually to Saginaw and East Lansing, you know, and all these different cities back in the state of Michigan, I'm very excited about.